Hello, everyone. My name is Christy Smith. This is Nine Lives Energy, and together we energize your body from the inside out. Thank you so much for joining me for this 12-part series called Astro Health. I am taking each week a different zodiac and discussing the astrological remedies for those particular signs. We've got a lot of things that have been challenging us recently, and I feel like this is something that has helped me kind of navigate through some of these energies. And I will say on my studies, I realized that I was a Leo rising. And sometimes, when we step into astrology for the first time, you might hear certain astrologers say, well, my sun, moon, and rising. And so I wanted to kind of share with you just a little bit about how I got started in this field. So if you look at this is my logo, which I have one of my Leo friends, shout out to Shan, helped me design it. And you can see here, this is the symbol for Leo, right? Which we'll talk about in just a second. And if you look at this, it looks like a A shape, which is turned upside down. All right. This is the sign for Aries. And so I am a Leo rising with an Aries sun, but at the top of my chart is my moon. So I created this logo based upon astrology. So let's step into it. Leo covers a lot of creative pursuits, and so no wonder I came up with that particular logo as a Leo rising, because I am a creative person. So if you can look at this symbol right here, this is how we see Leo when we look at the different zodiac symbols, right? And it is a element of fire. The other two fire signs that we have is Aries, where the sun is exalted in Aries. And then we also have Sagittarius, which is the mutable fire. It does control the fifth house. So this is the basic astrological wheel. And right here, this is the fifth house. You can see that Leo governs the sun, and it is our pleasures and our enjoyment and our creativity. And it is the fun house, right? It is represented by the lion, or cat-like expressions, and its planetary rulership is the sun. That is when Leo is the strongest, right? A lot of Leos have to be outside in the sun. It is important to them, and a lot of them suffer from seasonal depression because, the sun is in detriment in the wintertime, right? It's not shining as much, at least in the eastern part of the United States where I live. Now, the special numbers, or you can call these degree points, there was a man by the name of Nicholas Stavanovich, and he put degree points for each of the zodiac signs. So if you see 555 a lot, or maybe you get a receipt that's 1717, or if something, when you go pump gas, it's 2929, that could be your angels talking to you, because all of these numbers are represented by Leo. And Leo is special, right? Because an anaretic degree is 1, 15, and 29, means it has the most expression of. So that is 29. So a 29 degree Leo probably is somebody who is very expressive and has a lot of Leo energy, and it has the most qualities of that Leo. This is some basic information. This is the constellation here for Leo, and it looks kind of like a lion, right? And the dates are July 23rd to August 22nd. It is ruled by the sun. So it's important for Leos to understand wherever the sun goes, you need to be paying attention. So if the sun is in Capricorn, then we need to make sure we're doing Capricorn-like things, which is rules, regulations, systems, career. Those are the kind of things that we need to be focusing on. Maybe creating like a vision board. That would be something good for Leos to do, right? And how they can possibly maybe use that to be of service more to humanity whenever Aquarius season comes around, or living from their heart space and their passion, because Aquarius is the opposite sign of Leo. So the sun, like I just mentioned, is in detriment, or is not in its happiest place in the winter, because Leo is fixed summer. It likes to go and do and be energized and be in the sunshine. Well, fixed winter is Aquarius. And so the sun doesn't shine as much. So it's real important for Leos to make sure that they're getting some type of sunshine energy during the winter time, whether it's eating more sunshine foods, whether it's taking vacations to sunny places, or, doing the best that they can to harness that energy of the sun in the winter. It is in fall position during Libra season, because let's think about, the sun is falling out of the sky and going into hibernation. So if the sun on your birth chart is in the first house, that means that you probably have a lot of Leo energy, because Aries, or if you have the sun in Aries, that is where the sun is exalted. It is in its highest form, and it has the most energy of. So these people probably move very fast, have a lot of energy, have a lot of passion, but they could suffer from burnout. If you have the sun in your 7th house, okay, that means that maybe you attract a lot of Leos to your life, because maybe it could be hard for you to be sunshiny. And so if you're around more Leos, then you could possibly have more sunshine together. Think about it. Birds of a feather flock together. And you want to make sure that you are trying to be like the company that you keep. Now, I have this planet placement. So just because you have the sun in the 7th house, or the sun in maybe the 11th house, okay, where Aquarius is, that doesn't mean that, you're doomed forever, because I have Saturn in the 1st house, where in Leo, because I'm a Leo rising, and that's not where it likes to be. So it could cause these people to possibly learn lessons over and over again, or it could take them a long time to step into what they're supposed to be. These people probably don't like a lot of rules, because Capricorn is about rules and Leo is about having fun. Okay. And Uranus, if it is in Leo, that is controlled by Aquarius, which is the opposite sign of Leo. And it's good to kind of work with the opposite sign. If you're ever struggling as a Leo, think about, okay, what could I do in an Aquarius way? All right. And if an Aquarius is struggling, what can they do in a Leo way, so that they can kind of work with some of those energies? You always want to work with your opposite, right? Opposite signs attract. Now, there's 3 types of Leos. And what I mean by this is how a Leo evolves within their life. They can possess some of these qualities or have some of these experiences. So the lion is represented especially by Leos, and it's our confidence. It's our passion. That is what Leos are best known for. Okay. And they can usually take on these challenges easily. But as a young leader, they may question, well, why am I having these experiences? And it can cause them to rage out, lash out, or they could self-destruct in behaviors, especially if they aren't getting the attention that they need. If a Leo maybe creates a piece of artwork and nobody ever sees it, or maybe they were shamed for some of their artistic expressions as an inner child, that could cause them to have possible self-destructive behaviors in the future, because they think that maybe their work is never good enough, right? And they do a lot of self-criticism, maybe doing things over and over again, because their paw got wounded, and they don't know how to handle that. So they create a lot of anger, or they could self-destruct. And then this leads them to becoming the warrior. This is where they possibly question their worthiness, and they might attract experiences which help them prove their self-worth. For example, if a Leo thinks that they're never good enough, they may attract experiences where people treat them like they're not good enough. And it's important for them to stand up in their power, because that shows them, hey, what matters most is how they see themselves. I'm going to show you guys a meme here in just a minute. And I love this meme. It's a little cat, and it's looking into a mirror, and it sees a big lion, and it's like, the power comes from within. It doesn't come from the outside world and getting those accolades in order to make yourself feel worthy. So there could be some themes around these experiences having to do with patience, because Leos possibly could want to move through things fast. And it could also maybe be around appearances, like what they look like to the outside world. right? So if they have self-destructive patterns, they could maybe have an overindulgence of certain foods, or maybe toxic behaviors, patterns with people or with substances that could cause them to have a certain appearance, and they don't want to have that appearance anymore. So working through this about how you want to show up in the world differently so you can attract what you want to your life. And then the last one, after we have done all this magical work, is being the king or the queen of your life. And that comes from having the power within and learning how to love yourself, Leo. And when you love yourself some more, okay? And I don't think that that's coming from an egotistical place, but a lot of Leos I found, don't love themselves, and they feel like maybe, well, if I do this, then I will receive love. And that's not true. When we treat ourselves with self-love, and all right, well, if someone doesn't like your painting, then what can you do? You can say, well, you know what? I like it, and I'm going to use that painting in my own house, or I'm going to sell it to the highest bidder because I know it has value, even though the person that I showed it to or made it for doesn't think that it has value. So remember, when we love ourselves, okay, then we're going to attract other people that also love ourselves. And to understand, everything don't have to be perfect, Leo, okay? And leadership comes from being your authentic self, because Leos control authenticity. They control being in your heart space, and that's what makes you guys so magical. And your energy is definitely going to be needed for the next 20 years, because Pluto has gone into Aquarius, and you remember, you have to work with the opposite sign. So a lot of Leos stepping into their authenticity is going to help kind of navigate other people to also do the same for themselves. Leos control the circulatory system, and Leo, again, is the opposite of Aquarius. So they both control the circulatory system. Aquarius is electricity, and Leo, I believe, is like the blood and the life force and the heart. If the heart isn't beating, then the circulatory system can't work, right? And if we're not breathing air appropriately, then the heart isn't going to get the oxygen that it needs, right? And if we're around too much digital stuff, okay, Aquarius technology, then we can't connect to our heart energy. Think about how you hug people, folks. Do you hug people on the right side, or do you hug people on the left side? It's something to think about, right? A heart to heart, that's your electrical connection to someone else and feeling in their heart space, okay? So just pay attention to that, Leos. So just like the sun, okay, they have tremendous life force energy. Whatever Leo is, that is your passion. So we have all the signs in our birth chart. And so wherever you have Leo in your chart, kind of shows up where you have your passions, what excites you, how you entertain yourself, what's your fire. People that have a lot of Leo placements in their chart, Leo risings, Leo moons, or Leo suns, definitely could have some upper back issues in the shoulder blade area. I have found, being a Leo rising, don't move well. And I have a lot of injuries around my upper back and my thoracic spine. This is why I don't squat well. This is why I installed a yoga trapeze in my den, so that I could open up through these areas that I've had injuries with an ATV accident, car accidents. And also making bad decisions, and that also can kind of damage the heart too. And the shoulder blade area is where these people hold their tension. It regulates the spine or the spinal cord. These people probably, if they do have injuries to their Leo part of their chart, they could suffer from having scoliosis. It does control the delivery of deoxygenated blood to the heart, so it gets the oxygen that it needs. It gets the sun energy that it needs. And it also helps control with the myelin sheaths that control electrical impulses. As we talked about earlier, electricity is the opposite of Leo. And that is where we get our Aquarian energy from. Leos, it also controls the mane. Please watch out whenever Mercury is going in retrograde, or Mars, which is the head, is in retrograde, or Venus, which controls things of beauty, okay, is in retrograde. Please watch out for getting haircuts. I know that every Leo has probably had a bad haircut in their life. I will say that one of the worst things that my mother did for me, and I'm a Leo rising, she cut my hair when I was younger and it looked like a mushroom. So you take somebody who thinks that their hair is their most magnificent and beautiful thing. If you give them a bad haircut, that could, send them down a few notches and cause them to have some damage to their ego because they don't think they're beautiful anymore. So Leos, you need to take care of your hair, okay? And if you are a Leo who is bald, okay, that also controls baldness too, but you also kind of have to look at some other things in the chart because these people, even though they may not have the big mane to go with it, they could also suffer from heart issues, having a weak heart, doing too much for other people. They could have an enlarged heart, meaning that maybe they have so much love to give and they live so much from their heart space that they have an enlarged heart. These people also could be more vulnerable to heart attacks. So cardio up, folks. Cardio up. HIIT cardio is so good for Leos. And you want to make sure that you possibly do this outside in the sun. That could be great astrological benefits for you. These people could suffer from any type of blood issues because Aquarius rules the blood too. Hypertension, hypotension, low blood pressure, stroke, and anemia these people could suffer from. So Aquarius and Leo both could suffer from those. Spinal issues, as we discovered a minute ago, and rheumatism, which is the bending of the bones. And it's a very painful version of arthritis. These people could also suffer from fainting. So making sure that they are breathing and not holding in their breath because these people could suffer from asphyxiation. They are also impatient, possibly. They're ruled by the sun. The sun moves fast, right? 364 days is what it takes to go around that whole zodiac chart. Because of this, they could suffer from insomnia, overworking. They feel like maybe, even though Aquarius is across the street from Leo, Saturn is in detriment in Leo. And so a way for Leos sometimes to work with that energy is they like to overwork because Saturn controls work. So making sure that you're taking time to enjoy the things that you create, Leo, and not just working all the time. Depending on where Leo is in the chart, these people possibly could suffer from alcoholism issues, eyesight issues, and that goes for Aquarius as well. Appendicitis, possible poisoning, drowning, and asphyxiation. And these people could also possibly have inflated egos. Now, this may not apply to all Leos, okay, but some of this may. And one of the worst things that you can do to a Leo is damage their ego and tell them that you don't like their work or that what they created isn't good enough. That could possibly hurt their ego. And when we get into some of the celebrities who have heavy Leo placements in their chart, you will see where we can talk about some of these things going on with certain people and where it controls in their chart. Some astrological remedies are being in the sunshine. This is your life force energy, Leo. If you live in some areas of the world which possibly don't get any sunshine in the winter, like Alaska, you want to make sure that you do something to get sunshine into your life, okay? Whether it's wearing gold, whether it's wearing the color yellow, painting a room yellow, having a picture of the sun somewhere, or creating something. Anything is the opposite of depression. So think about that. Anytime you get depressed, create. I don't care what you create. Create a painting, create happiness, create food. Okay, go spend some times with your cat. All right, that's what I do when I want to create. I take videos. And speaking of, he is in here right now. So hopefully he won't cause too much trouble. He likes to be seen. I will tell you that, working in his Leo energy, which is what Leo controls, being seen. It also is a very good astrological remedy to, if you love children, to be around children or to do things in a childlike behavior, okay? Not being so serious all the time, having fun, taking a vacation, costuming, dressing up. I have a lot of Leo in my chart. That's my Leo rising. I have a Halloween closet, folks. I love to dress up, costume. When I was 5 years old, I was the star of The Wizard of Oz. And if people didn't know, their sign. I mean, if they didn't know their part, then I said it for them. Taking risk, being courageous. Things that are of taking risk are, you know what, I don't know what's going to happen, but I'm going to believe in my heart and my intuition that this is what's good for me. Being of service in politics. When I had some things going over the Leo part of my chart, I ran for politics, folks. In 2022, I was very brave and courageous. All right. It's hard to run for politics because you think, well, I don't want somebody to look at what's in my closet. Everybody's got stuff in their closet. And guess what? Nothing ever came of it. And I became a better person because of it. And it allowed me to put my energies towards something of being of service instead of self-sabotage, because I was doing something that was living from my heart. Come up here. Come up here. Come here. Oh, we knew that this was going to happen. Let me move this down. Come here. Let's tell everybody hello. So this is Jinko. So he has his own channel, Catterdays with Jinko. It's on Instagram and YouTube. And sometimes he makes an appearance on my TikTok channel and my Instagram channel, 9 Lives Energy. And he was the one who got me started working on social media and doing things that were fun. So this is my buddy here, and he loves to be all things Leo and all things Scorpio. So say hey, my little buddy. All right, that's Leo, putting a little shameless plug in there for my cat. All right, there he is looking in that that mirror there. I told you I was going to find this meme up here, and it says, what matters most is how you see yourself. So Leos, we see ourselves as the entertainer, the comedian, royalty, Hollywood. Leo controls all of these things. Gold, all right? It's important to wear gold. Even if you don't like gold, maybe you can get some white gold, silver, okay? It controls the inner child, teenagers. And so if we think about when we were 17 years old, because that's a Leo degree, what were you doing at 17 years old? I was being a rebellious teenager. I know that. They like to play, have fun, jokes, drama. I will say that I have been known to be dramatic. All right. Sometimes I can express myself and I get so passionate about it, right, that it comes across as being angry. So that's something that I have to kind of work with within my chart. But also we can have things happen to us or attract drama, and we just blow it up to being even more bigger than it is, or even bigger than it is. And I'm not saying that all Leos do this, but we can have a tendency to do that, or, tell somebody off if they hurt our feelings. You don't want to make a Leo mad, and you don't want to make an Aries mad, because it is not probably going to end well. They control hair, makeup, costumes, Halloween. These people could possibly work in the entertainment industry, work with hair and makeup, design costumes. That is so healing for people. Or these people love cosplay, those kind of things. They enjoy being seen publicly. If it controls the entertainment industry, these people have public lives. They're on the spotlight. It controls the TV, the YouTube, movies, right? Pisces also controls movies, but the person who is behind the camera, okay, is Leo-like. Either the person taking the pictures or the camera, or the person in front of the camera who's being filmed. They rule cats and lions. And we're going to look at a few pictures of all these cats and lions here in a minute, and just see which one you resonate with the most, because we all have a part of Leo in our chart. It controls artistry, creativity, dancing. These people are probably highly gifted in coming up with choreography. Summer, celebration, their life force energy. Leos want to be the best. And so when they aren't the best or they don't win, then they can take that critically. If they don't have a good foundation of groundedness, and look at it as, what am I supposed to be learning from this, instead of this hurt my feelings. Stepping into their leadership, being brave and courageous is also what Leo governs. Leo, the 5th house, that is a romantic house, okay? This is dating and flirtatiousness, okay? So if a person has Leo in a certain part of their chart with some different aspects, it could be how they flirt with you is very Leo-like. in some adverse aspects, because we all have things that we need to do better with. It could mean that these people try to seek attention, especially maybe if something is adverse in their chart and they didn't get attention somewhere. They could seek attention in a negative way, or maybe attract relationships to where they are the narcissist, or maybe they are attracted to people who are narcissistic in behavior, and there's a weird dynamic there. These people also could have big egos. If this person is in the entertainment industry, these people should have big egos, right? We look up to them to give us the courage, because possibly we may not have courage. And it also controls politics. If you look at people's charts who are in the political scene or in the entertainment industry, a lot of them are Leos. Leo risings, have their North Node in Leo, their MC in Leo, or have a stellium of planets in Leo. Leo is where a lot of these people that are in front of the camera and showing their self on mainstream into the world, even though these people are supposed to be in the spotlight, okay, that is what you will find in their charts. Now, Leo, their totem animal, as I mentioned, is the lion. And this is why I wanted you to kind of look at some of these pictures here. So we have the cowardly lion. Hopefully this lion has evolved, all right, to be more panther-like, right? And being this superhero of their life. And once they are the superhero of their life, then maybe they can step into this Aquarian version of the Leo. I love this right here. He is in a digital world. This is digital art. Look at the hair, right? The Leo hair. And this is very artistic and colorful. So I feel like this is Leo's stepping into the age of Aquarius, being physical in a digital world, because they're living from their heart space, and our heart is physical. And, if you like to be outside, maybe you resonate the most with this lion, or maybe you enjoy watching Disney movies in The Lion King, or maybe you enjoy watching, these villain type movies, or, where women step into their empowerment. A lot of Leos have cat-like features. And guess who is a Leo? This lady right here, Halle Berry. And what a good role for her to play, Catwoman, right? Or we can, be in our other childlike expression over here. Who's your favorite Winnie the Pooh character? All right. Is it Tigger? Is it Pooh? Is it Owl? Or maybe you just gravitate towards cats. Here's another shameless plug to my cat, Jinko, who you just saw a minute ago, my baby boy. And the colors that resonate the most with Leos is things like the sun, gold, yellow, and orange, and the sunflowers, folks. All right, these are excellent flowers for these people. Good to have these around, hopefully in the wintertime if you're feeling kind of low and depressed because the sun isn't shining. This would be good for you to wear. Sunflower pictures, having those around would be good too. So if you're feeling kind of low in the wintertime, get some sunflowers out. Did you guys see where these sunflowers turned away from the sun this past summer because it was too hot? There were some things online about that, and that's another deep dive for another day. So the best activities for these people: being outside, spending time in the sun. I don't care if you're exercising in the sun, doing a project in the sun, gardening in the sun, planting flowers in the sun, going to a festival in the sun, okay? Being in the sun, vacation into the sun. Being creative in your space. So what can you do to, even if the sun isn't shining outside, then how can you bring the sun inside? Okay, that's why I like to leave my tree up until about March. And I decorate it for Valentine's Day, and I decorate it for St. Patrick's Day, and then I take it down, all right? Because I'm bringing the light inside. Have fun while playing and being active. Folks, I have a yoga trapeze in my den, right? That's me having fun and playing while being active. I don't have to go to the gym and lift all those heavy bunch of weights like an Aries. I can be more fluid in how I move my energy around. Creating routines. So the opposite of Leo, we don't like structure because we just want to be fun, but we've got to have systems to our fun. If you create a good routine around the things that you love and you incorporate those into your life, that is the best thing for Leos to do. And especially if you feel like you are creative and have a business idea, right? You can put those into a routine within your life and create a lot of manifestations and abundance in your life if we put the things that we love into our life and create success around that. creating choreography, dancing, learning new hairstyles, skincare practices, nail techniques. I mean, anything to make you kind of stand out and be, wow, look at me. I'm here to get attention, okay? Spending time with children, this is excellent for grandparents to do because you're able to live out these childlike memories that you've had, and you get to experience those again as an adult. Running for political office would be a good astrological remedy because you're being of service and not you're being a leader, but you're not doing it from an egotistical way. But some leaders, okay, can be egotistical, and that you want to be a good leader. You don't want to be a good manager because leaders lead, managers manage. You know, you don't want to be that type of Leo. Some essential oils that are good, and I have some of these going on right now. And when I put these together, I was like, ooh, that smells good together. Cypress, this is for stress of doing too much. Leos like to overwork, but this can help uplift their mood and prevent them from burning out. Geranium is good for balancing restless energy and for optimism, making, you know, Leos can probably get in their head, well, I don't know if it's going to work out and nobody's going to like it. This would be good oil for them. I love frankincense, especially frankincense and myrrh. Those are excellent to combine together. And I have those together with geranium burning with lavender today in my essential oil diffuser. And frankincense is for focus and memory and concentration, and it's for grounding emotions. Leos, again, can be very dramatic. So a way for them to kind of ground their energy and to get creativity out of that emotion would be really good to put these two together. And benzoin prevents moisture loss in the winter. So this would be good to add that to any of your skincare products. Leos, you age backwards. Okay, especially Leo rising. So you may notice Leos or Leo people have a tendency to look better as they age. So if you have a lot of Leo in your chart, Leo rising especially, you could have a propensity to look better as you age. So yay for Leo. You can make all these mistakes when you're a young, unevolved Leo and use that as wisdom to turn your life backwards and start counting backwards, Leo, when you get to that magical age. So I am celebrating the 7th anniversary of my 39th birthday, and I'll let you guys do the math. A very powerful piece of jewelry for these people, folks, would be to put the sunstone with a piece of peridot, because that can help them connect to their heart chakra and create sense of empowerment and joy. And this is a sunstone. I'm going to bring this down so you guys can see. I love this little tree here. So this is a sunstone, and I have a piece of perite on it, which is good for getting abundance into your life and money. And so this is kind of like my little money tree, my Leo money tree, and it's on a piece of sodalite. And this is the opposite sign of Leo, which is Aquarius. So getting grounded, right? Very powerful right through there. And we're going to talk about these here in just a minute. This, as I mentioned in a previous video, this is red jasper. Red jasper looks a lot like this stone here, which is carnelian. And this reminds me of Jupiter. And I have my Gemini in Jupiter. So back to this here. So the crystals that are really good for these people, again, getting a piece of jewelry that is nice, that you could wear in a ring or in a pendant, would be peridot and sunstone. Rubies would also be good because it can help them live from their passion, their heart. Look at how dark, rich a ruby looks with that red color, okay? Sunstone would be good to have around, especially in the wintertime, because these people could suffer from seasonal depression. Carnelian, as I showed you with this is a good stone to have to help with your confidence and being creative. Tiger's eye. It actually looks like a tiger's eye, folks, and it's a crystal, and it's courage and willpower. Citrine, this right here is a piece of citrine, and it is for abundance, prosperity, manifestation. Labradorite, it looks, you can find these oftentimes that look like a little heart or a flat piece of gemstone, and it is for patience and concentration. You can also find those a lot in a pendant, and red jasper, which I showed you a minute ago. This one is for emotional balance. So again, a lot of Leos could have a tendency to fly off the handle and be dramatic. So this is a good stone for them to be wearing. Foods for Leo. You've got to drink more water, folks. You are governed by the sun. Put some lemon in it. That would be one of the best astrological remedies for you. Look at what lemon looks like. It looks like the sun. An orange looks like the sun. A grapefruit looks like the sun. So eating citrusy type fruits and putting those in your water would be very good for you. The best time to eat, I have found, because I'm a Leo rising, eat a big breakfast so that you have energy all day. A lot of times Leos get so busy and being creative and doing all the things, okay, that they forget to do self-care. And if you forget to do self-care, then you are going to burn out. So put yourself first, Leo. In the morning, think about, how do you love yourself? What did I say? Love yourself, Leo. And when you love yourself some even more. Because how do you love yourself in the morning? Do you rush around in the morning and say, I don't have time to eat, and don't eat? Or do you say, I love myself, and this is why I'm taking the time to make time for myself to eat this food? I'm not waiting in the McDonald's line, all right, and eating junk or skipping breakfast. I'm actually taking the time to make myself something to eat for breakfast. As I mentioned, eating colored fruits and vegetables, anything that's grown in the summer with that light energy when it's at this most energy, okay, in the sunshine, in the summertime, is going to energize those foods. So the most colorful vegetables, you are eating that sunlight energy. Also eating sunflower seeds. That is your flower. Eating the energy of your flower. Excellent, excellent for you folks. Put that on your salads. Will be excellent in the summertime. Foods containing iron, because these people can be anemic, and also Aquarius, that's your opposite sign. Green leafy, spinach, dried fruits, peanut butter, seafood, and poultry. Now, red meat does have a lot of iron in it, but I don't digest red meat very well, so I try to get it from other sources. But again, you do you, boo-boo. That's just what works for me. Avoid spicy foods. However, I love spicy foods, but it does make my face break out and get kind of flush. Also, watch out for dairy. And as I discussed, drinking more water, Leo. Now, these are some, the next 3 slides are celebrities. So if you have already gotten out what you want to get out of this, then don't listen any further. But I think that this is kind of cool because you can kind of see what I've talked about in some of our last slides. So Halle Berry, according to the internet, so we hope that this information is true, was born on August 14th, 1966, at almost in the middle of the night. So if you look down here at the bottom of the chart, the bottom of the chart is things that are hidden. This is where the sun, was coming up. This is at the height of it. Whoops, we'll go back to him in a minute. This is the height of the sun, where it was that day. This is where it set, and she was born in the middle of the night. She has what we call a stellium of planets there. Now, she has 3 significant points there. Number 1 is the sun, obviously how she shows up in the world. 3, her communication, how she communicates. Mercury is there, and the moon, all right? Her emotions. So she could be a very emotional actor. She has a stellium of planets in the 4th house. The 4th house is our home. She could probably have a very beautiful home, or she is known in her home as the star. Okay. Pisces also controls movies, and she's got at the bottom of her chart where she came from, and Jupiter there, and Mars, which is the Jupiter is given the energy to, and Mars is her action, her orientation, her the way she is active. Okay, her energy, that is Aries. All of this is pointing to, okay, up here at the top of her chart, which is Pisces and the movies. So she could have a career in the movie industry, okay? And maybe being able to play all kinds of different characters is something that she is good at doing. And maybe she didn't have a lot of confidence. And so working with that energy allowed her to have the confidence, because there was a square here, and maybe making routines of her movie industry, because Neptune is here, which controls the movies. And you've got this nice trine going up to the 10th house I'm sorry, Saturn, which is the 10th house, and how we have our career and also making movies. And so she came in here with gifts and talents on how to make movies, and she showed that in this lifetime. Mick Jagger is another famous Leo. If we look at him, look at this stellium of planets. So a stellium is more or one planet or point within a given sign. He has Saturn there. I mean, he has Sun there, all right, at 2 degrees. 2 degrees is what we value, things of importance, beauty, okay? He has Jupiter there, which is given energy too. So, no wonder he has this big hair, right? That we see that Jupiter is given energy to his hair, his aesthetic. He has Pluto there. Pluto is about death and rebirth. And if we have the death and rebirth, then we get the power to come along with it. He has Black Moon Lilith there, which is conjunct his Pluto in the 4th house. Okay, so maybe he could have had some issues possibly around routines. 6 is routines in our health habits. Okay, maybe doing some tendencies to escape. And you could possibly do plant medicine or things like that in order to get ideas, but there also could be some escapism to that. He could also maybe do things in his day-to-day life, which is very Leo-like, right? Which was being an entertainer. You have to have good routines, folks, or you're not going to be seen publicly, right? He's also got Chiron there, which is our wounds. Maybe he had a wound around being confident, or maybe he had a wound around being good with his routines. But because if he healed that, he could get a lot of fortune there. Look at all of this energy, right? No wonder he was who he was. And according to his astrological chart, he was born on July 26, 1943 at 2:30 in the morning. All right. Now, our last but not least, this is our rising sign. So let's look at our rising sign. We talked about earlier that Leo controls the hair. So Donald Trump has the head, Mars, all right, on his ascendant, who he's trying to be in Leo, and at 26 degrees, things of value. Folks, when around the election, there were campaign signs that had nothing but just a hair on it. His hair preceded this person. Okay. I can tell that this person probably values the home a lot. They've got 3 planets or points within the home, in the Mercury. All right. Talking about, all right, let's think about transforming of the home, talking about that, speaking about the home. The home is the, Cancer, I'm sorry, is the astrological sign of the United States, right? And maybe being in a career where you lead in the home in a feminine way. He's also got a stellium of planets up here in Gemini. So I just think that this is pretty fun, that he actually has the head here, and he is a rising 29-degree Leo, which is the most energy of the head. So, thinking about his hair and how that precedes him. And he's very courageous and very brave. He's definitely taken on a lot of challenges since he came into the spotlight. But you know who you're going to get, right? Because he has a lot of stuff up here in the chart. He is supposed to be seen publicly, where if you look at these people, they have a lot of stuff hidden below their chart. All right, look at all these planet influence below the chart versus above the chart. So you know who you're going to get with this person. All right, so if you're still listening, Leo controls creativity, but I have a trine fire between Leo and Sag and Aries in my chart. And I just think all the fire signs, they work so well together. Aries is the ram, and it initiates, and it's our leadership and our independence and our warriorship. So you can kind of see this red fire here, right? Leo, the lion, is our courageous, our living from our heart space and our inner child. We see the Leo hair here, but we have the Aries face of the ram, right? Aries face of the ram. And then our Sagittarius, look at the hoofs. All right, we've got the hoof of the centaur from our Sagittarius expression, gaining spiritual knowledge, freedom, higher expansion, growth, and expansion. So I love digital art, being physical in a digital world. We got one foot in the digital world, all right, with the things that we're doing on YouTube and social media. We've got one foot in the spiritual world. How are we connecting to God, to our heart space, so that we can live physical in the world in our abundance? So yes, I love I love digital art. I love art and all that Leo governs. If you would like an astrological appointment with me, a birth chart is a transformative experience. It was for me, having somebody read that to me, and it helped me step into parts of myself that I didn't know that I had. And once you start doing that, you become so much of a happier individual. And I have a lot of Leo in my chart, and that's why I couldn't wait to share this information with you. So it's time to turn off the TV, turn off the social media, and tune in to yourself. How can you use astrology to help transform your life? If you got something out of this video, make sure that you like, comment, or share. It does help with the algorithm. And that's my tip jar down there at the bottom if you feel so inclined to leave a donation, because it does take time and energy to put these little chats together. And I went a little over today, but I was having fun, Leo, and I want to tell you all about yourself. So we have 3 more that we are covering. Cancer on January 19th. We got a lot of action going on in Cancer right now. The Mars is there going retrograde. Leo just got through with that retrograde. So we'll get that fire back, Leo. Don't you worry. And Gemini is going to be on the 11th. We got Jupiter in Gemini right now, giving all kinds of expansion to the ways that we communicate. And then in our last one is Taurus in what we value. We got Uranus there, and Uranus controls astrology. So astrology is going to become something of value here into the future. So be looking out. Thank you so much for tuning in. Again, my name is Chrissy Smith. This is 9 Lives Energy, and together we energize your body from the inside out. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, because every time that you do, another person gets healthier. Thanks so much, and have a great day.